Okay, these jeans I bought already. I'm stressed out, but I want to, what else have I got here? Yeah, something like this, which is pretty basic, and I got that because I want to mess around with them on my own and see what I can do. That's a bit, it kind of looks, you see what I don't like about buying stressed jeans is they look like they've been stressed by the system, and not something that people can do themselves. So let's have a look. So I use the nail file to make a hole, and if I can just get the scissors in there, just offset that. And then I want to offset something here, just slightly. Let's see how it goes. Let's get this in here and just make I just want to test this out. It's not so easy. These jeans they're more expensive than the cheaper summer jeans. I have to do this off camera. So you can pull that out a bit. That's a kind of nail file type effect. And just give that it's just really what all I'm looking for is for a bit of texture, and just something new, and something that I want to create myself. And then between these I can easily take some of that out up top. And that takes, this takes a bit of time, but if you get the right type of jeans, you can easily just take time to do this. And then at least it begins to look a bit more like messed up jeans and not some funny product. I use my open nail knife. For this. And I just leave these threads. I want these threads. They tend to, usually if you get stressed jeans, they clean up all the threads, but I want to have these funny threads. And then you can add some bit of texture, change of colour to the back, wear out the top of the pocket a little bit using the fine sandpaper. Or you can even use the knife, which is a bit easier than the sandpaper. Now I found that I was able to do a lot more controlled changes with the open. I'm using the larger open, but maybe I should use the smaller one. I don't know. And I can get the changes that I want to see, because art. I keep saying texture because art is texture. It's all about texture. It doesn't matter if it's oil paint or watercolor or pen paper, or if it's a sculpture or stressing denim. It's all the same thing. It's all about texture and altering the texture of things. And the reason that I do this is because I want my jeans to be something that I've done, I've altered, yeah, it's art. It's just something. It's mine. I make it mine. It's original. You can't do this twice. So I go in. I don't know if you'll notice it, but I notice it. I notice the difference, and it's a big difference, and it gives me the effect that I want. And I put my own energy into it, my own creativity, and I feel good. Yeah, that's it. You see? You just actually using the knife and the open nail actually works out really well, because you have a lot more control. It gives you a nice effect, and it works. Most important of all is that it works. And I did the same down here. I extended this, altered it. I want this to stay as it is. I like the threads. I just scrape the edge here to give the effect. To give the effect that I want. It's taking shape. Back here I actually went into the top and did the same thing with the nail file, and I like the nail file because I can get this effect without cutting holes, and it allows me to, it gives me more to work with than if I'm just cutting a hole or cutting a line. Oops. Yeah. You see? There it is. Because I also want it to look like worn out. I don't want it to look like, I want it to look worn out and kind of natural. I don't want it to look like someone in a factory put a hole in the jeans and stressed it out. And stressing your jeans is also, I mean, it is similar to a drawing or a painting, or that's how I see it anyway. That's how my mind visualizes this when I'm doing it, and that is that I took this and I create movement over here. So this is something that I've done myself and brought that out a bit, because it's difficult to describe, but it's visual. It's a picture. It's telling some kind of story, and so I continued the movement across here, and then I extended the movement down, because to me, I mean, I bought these jeans because I wanted to take what I saw on them and use that as a base for working my own design. And it is a design. I mean, that when you do this on your own, as long as you're not afraid and you know how to kind of fix things or change things, but also that you know when to stop. Most important of all, you know when to stop. Sure, yeah. You can. Before, all I had was a funny blob here and a funny blob there and nothing. And you see what I've done? I've created movement with texture. So now we've got the movement from here to here, but we've also got them relating here. And it gives, you can see visually, you can actually see the effect. So already I'm beginning to like it. At first I didn't like it, but I wasn't wearing these, I thought, yuck. But now that I'm doing this, and putting myself into the clothes that I wear, and the other thing is, it actually feels good. It has an effect on the brain that actually feels good, totally different than just going and buying something. When you actually interact with the clothes that you wear and begin to make things happen. Now, if I move down here to the other side, okay, pocket here, right, here's another effect that I don't like, and if you look at it, I mean, the effect does look like it's been stage managed, right? It's just an effect that's been done artificial to sell jeans. And I want to change that. I want to have an effect that it looks a bit shabby, torn, worked. Not just that something has been turned out, you know, in the usual way. So I'll try and show you quickly what you can do. This is very fine sandpaper that I actually use to I use when I'm doing my knives. The paper, the sandpaper, makes the wood like really smooth, and you can actually alter, if you work really hard, you can change the shape. So I use that for my knives, the wooden handles of the Opinel. And the fine sandpaper, I've tried more. Let me see what this, I've tried this one. This is but I don't like that. I mean, I can try it again, but I mean, sure, it really, yeah, I mean, you can, I just don't like it anyway, so, because the fine sandpaper, actually, you can see, it holds on, it gives you it gives some sort of resistance on the material, and also you can work much finer, you can get much finer effect, and that is actually also takes place with the knife. more difficult to show, but the knife does the same. And so you can see what I'm doing here to change this funny little pockets. And I actually moved a lot of this with the tip of the knife to give a little break into the threads, and it allows you, then you can actually pull the stuff apart. You can pull it apart and then just give a little bit of you see, you can just get any kind of effect, and it doesn't have to be the same. I mean, one of the things people try to sort of create the same effect everywhere, and you don't have to do that. You can have, just as in life and nature, everything changes, it's different, and you can you know, you can have different effects, and so you can see the different effects. You don't have to cut. You don't really need scissors. You don't have to cut holes. You can actually do really fine stuff on your own, which gives you more control and a lot of patience. It takes a bit of time, but why not? And that gives on this side, that gives this textured effect. So you can see that. You can maybe not see it so well, but that is one thing happening here. And on the other side, something different is happening. Maybe you can see the contrast. You don't want to be always doing the same thing, just making wear and tear. And now I'm going to have to approach this funny thing I don't really like. And again, you know, you have this perfect wait a minute. Now I've sort of worked a little bit on this with, I got my smaller knife. It's a bit easier to handle, and you can get some nice effects with the knife without ending up with some big hole in the denim, some big tear, big hole that you don't want. So you can actually work it through. Just be patient, take your time, and see what you get. And so I was able to change the look of this, which I prefer now to the way it was before, but I don't want it to look so clean. It looks it's too perfect, you know. Well, for me it's too perfect. The way it looks is just too perfect. So I want to be doing a bit of yeah, I want to add texture. I don't want some, I want this to, although I see it as art, I want to have a little bit of chaos there somewhere. So I get the best, rather than working with the knife, I prefer the effect that I get with the nail file. And a new nail file is easier because it's sharper and it has more tear effect, and so I can start creating a bit of a mess without totally destroying the denim, and get it to be a bit more chaotic and bit more wear and tear. So you can see that I'm working my way through this now and putting a lot more texture in. I've found actually, because I've never used this before in this type of denim, I have found that it's easier to go into the denim long ways than it is across. So I started doing that now. So you can see already the effect. This is exactly where I want. I love this. I'm really happy with this. And get a bit of sort of wear and tear in that maybe looks a bit more natural. And as you see now, it's starting to take shape. It's a lot more. There's a lot more movement, things going on, and I've just taken it down a single level, and I can clean all this up with the open end. And now with the sandpaper, it's just getting a little bit of a rough edge here. To bring out that weathering there. To bring out the weathering effect and stop it looking so clean. I don't want it. I don't want it to look so clean. I want it to have a bit of sort of movement, a bit of history. Get it worn out. And so there it is finally. I'm pretty much happy with that. There's movement. It's created some kind of movement inside the denim. It's not just some pretty cut stress, perfect stress, but now things are happening. Things are taking place. I've created some kind of relationship of movement that actually makes sense to me.